taking this off so you can forget it.
It's alright, I'm not doing it with these guys.
Yeah.
How bad was the eye during the fight? Did it feel like it affected you?
You know, it wasn't so much that the eye was affecting me. She caught me once in the first round and then in the second round in the same spot with the headbutt. And then whenever we were engaged really tight, she did this funny thing where she like rolled her head across my face, which was like something I never experienced before. So it was like super awkward and totally threw me off. She was like butting me while we were inside, and it just was a little distracting. But other than that, like this is from the headbutts. Her punches weren't really connecting.
We're here with Jackie Trivilino, who just went to war with Heather Hardy in a very tough competitive fight. The crowd didn't seem to agree with the decision. Did you?
Personally, no. I mean, you know, as a fighter, it's hard to tell what's going on. I mean, she didn't catch me with anything good. I mean, felt I was aggressing the whole fight. I know I was hurting her. I know I was coming after her. You know what I mean? I beat her up, and it's just a way of it, I suppose.
Were you worried when it goes to the cards at that point? I mean, even though...
No, I wasn't worried. I was super distracted, being upset by the stoppage because of the blood, you know, because I physically felt like I could do the last round, and I felt like she was getting tired, and, you know, I didn't feel like, I mean, I could have went like 4 more rounds. So I was super upset and distracted, and, you know, everything's happening at once. I hear them talking about stitches behind me, and I'm like, no more stitches.
The doctor was talking with me, and I asked him, what does he think?
That is a big
That
cookie.
7th round, I saw a
I
gash
want one.
and the split.
I'm only kidding.
I saw the gash and the split, so I asked him when he goes, so I knew he was going to stop it. I don't think anybody else knew, but he looked at me and said, that's it.
I knew I would probably have to stop her in order to get the win. Although, you know, like you say, I am from New York, and, you know, I know, you know, I've been around the game for a long time. I've been around all the, you know, the officiating, the people, the whatever. You know, I thought originally starting, training for this fight, getting ready for this fight, saying, you know what, we're going to have to kill this girl practically in order to get the win. But then as it got closer and I got here and I got, you know, I was like, you know, maybe it'll be fair. Maybe it'll be all right. You know, I am from New York, and it should go fairly, you know what I'm saying? But that's boxing for you.
Yeah,
I spoke
actually,
with the referee.
when he kept warning her while we were engaged tight, because I said she was like rolling her face across me, and he kept saying, watch the head, Jackie, watch the head. So at the last one, right before the bell rang in that round when she banged up, it was, I think, the end of the 7th round. She looked at me, she said, I'm sorry, and you know, because she wasn't doing it on purpose. I think it's just her style of fighting or whatever. Like, she was like, I'm sorry. And then, you know, at that point, I'd already gotten bashed in the head.
First of all, they didn't call a headbutt. I mean, nobody told, our corner was like, they didn't call an accidental headbutt. So that's a problem. You know what I mean? The referee looks at, we're like, there was no call, and he just looks at us like, and nothing was said, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's...
Well, and that created a lot of confusion ringside, too, because when they were stopping the fight at the conclusion of the 7th round, they thought the fight was being stopped because of the cut, and there was no mention to the folks at ringside either that there was a headbutt, so...
Exactly, that's just it. It's a crooked game.
Was it a headbutt?
I don't think it was a headbutt. You know, I mean, we clashed heads, but nothing was ever called, you know, and... I don't know, you know what I mean? What do you do?
Was the headbutt that ultimately led to the stoppage of the fight, though, if I understood, it was in the 2nd round, right?
No, the one that stopped the fight is the last one.
It was in the 7th.
That one split her forward open right away, and when she came back to the
it
corner,
was gushing
it was
blood.
just gushing.
It needed
so
stitches
the one,
right
the
away.
doctor was checking for the ones on the cheek. She got headbutted in the 2nd round, and then as the fight went on, she got more, you know, hits on it, and it was pretty swollen and cut. But the one on the 7th round, the doctor, once he looked at it, he said, that was it. So the second actual cut, many headbutts, but the second actual cut over her right forehead stopped the fight.
I always want to do better. I always, you know, I aggressed the whole time. I suppose I could have, stayed back, stayed back in my stance a little bit better, maybe not. Just, you know what I mean? You always just try, you just want to do better. You just want to do better. I know I gave everything I could. I trained as hard as I could for this fight. I came here. I did what I was supposed to do, and, even if they would have called it a headbutt, the scorecards still were, I mean, come on. I don't know. I mean, I thought at least I could get at least the draw out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the 68, 65, I don't know where they got that from, but that's just the sport of it. That's just the way it is in boxing, and for what reason, I'm not sure, but...
The crowd didn't respond very favorably to the decision. How did you feel going in as the cards were read?
I feel like I won the fight, but like I said, I was super distracted by the stoppage and by the headbutts, and I had been waiting for this fight for so long and had envisioned a great boxing match, and it turned out to be so dirty and just didn't end the way I wanted, like if Cinderella never found her shoe. So
I'd rematch her. I'd fight anybody. I'm not afraid to fight anybody. I'm not afraid to come. I'm not afraid to do what just happened. Ultimately, we knew this is what was going to happen if it went to the scorecards. Personally, let's come fight me. We'll go on even ground somewhere. Not in Brooklyn. I don't really have a hometown, so I'll go anywhere. I don't care. I'll fight her again. I'll fight her 100 times. I'll fight anybody. I know I couldn't fight anybody. I know I couldn't beat anybody. I know I have the ability. It's just keep going. That's all.
She felt, given the nature of the controversial decision, that the fight deserves a rematch, and she's requested that it not take place anywhere around here in Brooklyn area. Although she is from New York, so do you think you guys might do it again?
Our promoters and our manager makes those decisions. Not the girl, not anybody, but manager and promoters.
I understand make those decisions, but at the same time, is it something you would welcome if
fight anybody?
I really and anybody who knows me will say it. I'll fight anybody. I'm like one of those dumb fighters. I'm like, I'll fight anybody. That's why I do what I do. That's why I am who I am. But as far as business and all that stuff, I have nothing to do with it at all. So I'm not going to say, yeah, I'm going to go fight her, and I'll fight her wherever she wants to fight me, and da-da-da. I don't talk like that, because at the end of the day, boxing is such a business that I have nothing to do with it. And that's really what it is. It's like a business, Like you can't walk into Burger King and ask for a pizza. It's like, even if they really want to give you a pizza, it's Burger King. So I can't do what's out of my control. I can only say I'm totally willing to do anything that my promoter tells me to do.
I'm just gonna keep coming. You know what I mean? I love to do it. I hate to lose, but what's the big deal in the end? Everybody here saw. Everybody here is like, you won that fight. You won that fight. You won that fight. It is what it is. Unfortunately, that's the game of boxing.
Do you take any solace in the fact that if the crowd were the judges tonight, you certainly won the fight?
Yeah, that makes you feel good. But what sucks is I have to go home and say, I got robbed. You know what I mean? When everybody here that got to see it knows. But to come back and say, I didn't win, that's the hardest part for me. Inside of me, I know I did the hardest I could. I know that, I should have won that fight, but it is what it is now. It's over with, and we'll just keep going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.